Hey dads, whether you've already had your baby or you just found out that your wife is expecting, in this video I'm going to review an article based on a popular registry baby site and saying what their 5 things on financial tips are for preparing for babies, and if these tips are actually good things or if they're just kind of mumbo jumbo. I'm going to pull that website up and I'll take you through their points. All right, the website I'm reviewing is called Babylist. My wife is familiar with it since she's got advertisements on here on YouTube for it, but basically it's used for different registries and stuff like that. But this specific article is called 5 Things to Include on Your Financial Checklist Before Your Baby Arrives. Now, the very first thing that they have on here is to consider your cash flow. I'm expecting that this is more talking about trying to figure out if you're going to have more extra expenses when the baby finally comes along, but this should go back to just regular different kind of income and expenses and what are your debts, assets, things like that. Are you just basically carrying a budget? Now, this is something I've talked about before on this channel, and that is specifically the damn money rule. And basically it is, do you have more money coming in that you're coming out? Just like you have a dam that has some water in it, you need to be able to use that water for later in the year when you run out of water. And so you got to have any kind of savings, emergency fund, or just general things set up so that way you are not going to be left behind if something does happen. And so considering your cash flow, yes, 100% good information, but I would hope this is something you're kind of taking care of beforehand and not just all of a sudden realizing it that you do have to do this. But if this is something you're starting to have to consider for the first time, try to figure out first what are your main expenses and what is your priority and what you are paying. The second thing they have on this list is review your employee benefits and healthcare plan. Again, this is good advice. A lot of people through their work, whether they're doing corporate America or if they're doing any other kind of job, you really don't know if you're going to be able to get parental leave or anything like that for just consideration if they're going to help you out with any kind of childbirthing and childcare on top of that. As for healthcare plans, this is extremely important as well because some kind of insurances will actually pay for everything within the hospital and you don't have to worry about what's going on, whereas other ones will have different kind of deductibles and stuff like that. So make sure that you actually do figure out both of these different kind of things because it will, one, be able to help you figure out if you're able to help your wife when she is going through all these different kind of things, and two, if you need to worry about any other out-of-pocket expenses for when the baby actually does come. The third point that they have on their checklist here is start saving up for childcare expenses. Very, very important. A lot of people don't realize how expensive a kid can actually be. And if you're watching this channel, you probably already know how expensive your kids can actually get. And this is going to vary widely depending on where you're living in the United States and what kind of things you are prioritizing for your kids. So if you have a general idea of what it's going to cost to be able to take care of your kid when they do come, it is good to kind of start figuring out that money now so you could start saving up for that kind of stuff. Luckily, if this is at the very beginning, you just found out your wife is pregnant, well, good thing you have a good 9-10 months ahead of you to be able to start preparing. Otherwise, if you already have a kid and you're starting to take care of them or you have another one on the way, you already kind of know what to expect. And so you can go ahead and start figuring out what are some more expenses you're going to have and what you can to save up for them beforehand. Number 4 on their checklist is take care of big financial to-dos like getting life insurance and an estate plan. This is actually, out of everything on this list so far, I think this is by far the most important part because of how common it is for people not to have any form of life insurance. And you can even get term insurance, which is extremely cheap, but even permanent life insurance options where you're actually putting money aside for your future as well, on top of having that protection for your family, is so freaking important. And a lot of families are left in a lot of different trouble because of simple negligence on this part. And I'm not saying that people have been purely trying to do things to not take care of their family, but it is putting them in a different circumstance if you would have taken the time to get some kind of life insurance. Which actually, if you are wanting to look into any life insurance options of your own, or just in general getting a financial needs analysis for your family, if you go ahead and go to the description, click on the link, and you'll be able to go to my website where I could be able to give you guys a personal custom financial needs analysis that is a one-on-one thing, and it is led entirely around your goals and your dreams and what you want for your family. And one of the main things I try to focus on with families is life insurance, and if you have any, and what you could do with it beyond just simple, if I die, something could happen to me. So go ahead and go to the link in the description and click on that link. you'll see another video of me kind of describing the process, and we'll get you taken care of. So go to that, and I'll see you over there. And finally, number 5 on their list is start saving for the future. Of course, this is just general knowledge that anybody could ever really use. It is easier to start saving today than it is 20 years from now when you're actually going to start needing that different kind of money. And I realize as a new parent or just beginning to be any kind of stage that you're currently in, this is the time of life that it seems most difficult or the hardest to be able to start saving money, but it is only going to get more difficult. Luckily, there is a lot of different tools that you can use to actually get things started on your end. On this website here, they actually have a couple recommendations, including the Trump account, which just came out very recently, where any babies from January 2025 to December 2028, you could actually start an investment account for them, which is freaking cool. And I may do a video on here about all of that. So make sure you stick around and I'll be able to get that to you pretty soon. But there are more tools to this kind of stuff that you could be able to just look around and ask and see what kind of resources are available for your goals and dream. Again, I already mentioned that. If you go to the description, I'm telling you a second time, I'm going to be able to try to help you get to what your goals and dreams are with that financial needs analysis. You just got to start asking questions. And with that, that wraps up the 5 things to include on your financial checklist before your baby arrives on babylist.com. Again, I am not sponsored by this website. I just thought it'd be interesting to share with you guys my thoughts on it and how applicable a lot of the things are. There are some things that I thought were missing from this kind of stuff that you could be able to see more on my channel. If you have any specific questions, go ahead and ask in the comments below. But this does provide a good foundation for some things that you may have not considered before. And I would include specifically the action step that they said was to make sure that you have some kind of life insurance set up and an estate plan for your wife and kids. And on top of that, just having what is your healthcare plan and what kind of benefits will you get from being an employee or owning your own business from this different kind of stuff. And so I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you want to see my latest video, go ahead and go to this link over here. I'll see you in that one as well.